Okay, guys. So do you have any open questions regarding yesterday's session? Any questions, guys?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Guys, I'm talking about Venkat team. So, guys, did you start it? Did you configure the Anypoint Studio and so start playing with Anypoint Studio? Are you facing any
Um,
challenges?
we did a project already. Like yesterday, you have said one thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did everything you said yesterday.
Oh, okay, great, great. Thanks, guys. Okay, guys. Okay, yesterday we seen this basic example, that is a set payload we are trying to display it. So we just hard coded it. Then we are trying to display it in the logger and as well as parallelly in the browser also. If we keep it content in the payload, we can display on the browser also, guys. Because so this is a get request. So that's why you can show we can test through browser, guys. If it is a post request, we'll try to see the post request. Yesterday we are trying to hit so from the browser, guys. So because of this get request, we can see that same content on the browser. If it is a post request, how we'll do it? So if we keep it a post here, so the method name I'm keeping it as a post, post. So what is this post, what is this get and all? I will try to explain once again, guys. Please try to get it. So we have a we are publishing as a REST API, guys. We are the middleware people. We are trying to publishing our services, means exposing our services. Okay, so through HTTP connector. So means it's a REST API, guys. It's a REST API. So somebody is trying to hit our services, so with a different requirement in the sense somebody want to fetch the information from the target system in the sense we are the middleware people via MuleSoft. They are trying to fetch the information from the target system. Okay, that is one thing. So somebody want to create the things, create the records, or else create the opportunities, or else. So they are trying to post, they are trying to push some information to the target system. First one is getting the things from the server and then pushing the information to the server or else target system. And then somebody trying to update the records. Already we have a created records already. They have some unique ID. Based on that unique ID, they are trying to update the records. That is nothing but a put operation. And somebody want to delete the records. So if you see each and every method, we need to implement separate service, guys. One is for get service, one is for post service, one is for update. It's nothing but a put service and delete service. Like that, we have to implement it. Okay. So coming back to the methods. So based on the requirements, so user try to hit to the MuleSoft actually. Somebody want to push this content. There's some content is there. He want to insert that content into the target system. So that's why he is choosing a post. And then somebody want to hit a get method. So that is a get method. So this get method possible through browser also, guys. Through browser also we can hit it, but only a get request only we try to hit the browser actually. Apart from that, other requirements like post or put and delete. Okay, so through this is a plugin for Chrome, guys. So try to add this plugin into the Chrome. So search for a Postman client, Postman client for Chrome. Search for this is an add-on of Chrome. Okay, so just add it. You can see that clearly here. Add it. Once you've done this, whole things are appear into the apps. Okay, that we added successfully. So then click on this Postman. So then you can see this. You can see. You guys are clear, right? So why we are trying to through Postman? In real time, guys, try to understand in real time. So we are testing only our middleware, not end to end actually. So our service is working as we expected or not. So either it's a post service, we have to test it, we need to test through Postman client. Not only Postman client, in market we have several this type of plugins are available. This is one of them. So this I mean advanced REST client, advanced REST clients also there. And then there is one more SOAP UAE also there. And then there is one more for Mozilla also, some plugins are there actually. So we can add that plugin, we can try to hit it actually. So this is the best plugin for checking the REST APIs. Okay, so that is the thing actually, but end to end. So we are testing our only our middleware, but once you've done everything, but end of the day, eventually we have to check with end to end. So that from the user perspective, so user will hit the request. That request we have to receive our service actually. How we are hitting in the middle, we are hitting into the Postman client similar manner. So they have to hit it, they have to hit us. Then we need to take that input from the consumer. Then we have to read it. Then whatever the request it is, if it's a post request, we read the data accordingly. We'll go ahead and we have to implement it, and we have to talk with the target system. We have to get back the information if it is a post. If it is a get, then you have to similar manner, we have to get the information from the target system. We have to share back to the client actually. It's kind of synchronous calls, guys. These are all. He will hit the request, he will wait for the response actually. Until unless he will get the response, he can't able to do anything, right? It's a synchronous calls. You guys are clear, right? Why I am trying Postman, that is the reason here. I am trying to hit with Postman. Okay, because I can't able to try post request through browser. That is the reason. Okay, so come back to the our implementation. Here is the post request. Here, observe here, guys. Yesterday we did hard coded thing. This is a set payload, one of the component from the palette. One of the component from the palette. What was the purpose of this component? Set payload. Whatever the data we are getting, we can hold into the payload, guys. That is the one thing. And then if you want to display anything on the browser, we can keep it set payload actually. Okay, so that is the purpose of the set payload here. So whatever the things we can store in this, that is stored like a string actually. Okay, the return type of that content is a string. Next level, it will go as a string. After that, we can convert it. So based on our requirement. So there is a set payload component. That is one of the payload component. And so here I'm trying to remove this. Yesterday we seen as a hard coded, but I'm not. I want to get dynamically the data. So I just skipped a payload, guys. I just skipped a payload. So this is the Mel expression, guys. We'll discuss next session, or else today's session. We'll see the different Mel expression. What was the history of the Mel expression? This is one kind of language actually. So as of now, try to get it. So how we'll implement this Mel expression? So this a payload is nothing but a keyword, guys. So payload in the sense, whatever you are trying to hit the request, you are trying to hit the request as a post, one post request. We need to take this data, right? We need to take this data. So that's why I just hold that after getting the data, I just hold it to the payload. That's why I just keep it as a dynamically. I'm just keeping dynamically here. So hash square bracket, then payload is the built-in thing, guys. You can see control space bar. We can use in the middle. Just remove this. Even you can remove this. Use simply control space bar. It will clearly show us suggestions, guys. What do you want to get it? Either payload or message. I will try to uh, get message also here. So see this under message also there is a payload, guys. We'll discuss about soon this message. So as of now, we just keep it as a payload, guys. Message is a big object here, so we'll discuss that one. As of now, I just keep it a payload. Okay, that's it. So next is in the logger also I'm trying to display same payload. After getting response, I'm keeping static content also here. After getting response, I just keep it a logger here. Type is should be log guide info, guys. Otherwise you can't able to see in the console. Okay, I'm ready with the post request. Let me try to hit the post request. What was the iterate one? And then demo is the path. Iterate one and demo. Try to hit this post. Let's see. I'm just keeping a debug here. I just stop this service. A debugger here, total breakpoint, and then I'm trying to deploy this one. Week one, debuggers Mule application. Okay, I'm trying to hit the request. I just deployed successfully through Postman. See this, guys, how to use this Postman client. We have to pass the URL here. Yes, can you mute yourself? Balaji, Balaji, can you mute yourself, please? I was trying to mute you, but still you can able to speak. Balaji, can you hear me? Okay, so I just mute. From mind, I just mute. I did mute your name actually on top of that. If you want to speak, just ping me in the chat if you have any questions. Okay, so I'm trying to hit the request, guys. The post request. Thanks, man. I just hit the request, sent, and then I got the request. Observe here, guys. One more thing we need to observe here. So here is the thing: if you send any type of request, post request, you can see the content become buffer input stream, guys. Content become buffer input stream. So what happened here? So the HTTP is there, no? The HTTP always whatever you are sending the data, so that will convert into the buffer input stream, guys. That is the thing here. So we need to convert it actually. If you want to convert it properly, we need to convert it. For that, we need to use some transformers. So let me try to see the next level. Our payload should convert it. So if not converted, we'll see. Yes, it's not converted. So we can see the content in the form of buffer input stream, guys. I'm trying to show you payload. See this? In the debug mode, guys, in the debug mode there is a here mule evaluate expression symbol is there on the right side. On the right side corner you can see the x plus y equal something, x plus y equal question mark kind of thing. You can click on that, so they can pop up this dialog. You can search this payload. Okay, I'm getting payload as a buffer input stream, some kind of object we are getting. Okay, object we are getting, so we need to convert that actually. I will use some transformer, then we'll convert it. So what was the transformer it is? I just keep it some object to string I'm keeping. This is a transformer, guys. The purpose of the transformers are convert into one format to another format. That is our use of the transformer. I just save this example. Let's see. So automatically redeployment should happen. So here there is one more way to convert into the things, guys. Like there is a data wave concept also there, transform or else data wave. Using that also you can translate it. I mean you can convert into one format to another format. That is possible. We have, apart from that, we have so many transformers are there. Number of transformers are there. You can use that. If it is a more customization, even the transformers are unable to convert it, then you have to use Java code, guys. I mean, not only Java code, whatever the things you are familiar, like somebody familiar with Groovy script, you can drag and drop the Groovy script. There is a Groovy script here. Okay, Groovy thing here, Groovy component, drag and drop that. We can take the payload, you can convert it accordingly if you are aware of Groovy. So let me try to hit the request. Let's see. But observe here, guys. End of the day, result is in the postman. Result is coming like so. Same thing. You can see the 200 status code 200. Okay, this was clearly saying this is the advantage of that postman client actually. So sometimes we'll follow the SLAs, right? SLA in the sense, so client will say like within a 2-3 seconds I should get the response, right? So there is a 2-3 seconds is SLA. We can check, we can tune it based on this. You can see, if you see, this was taking around 1,19,991 milliseconds, right? Okay, so based on this we can reduce our time actually. So we'll tune something wherever it was taking more time, right? Might be it's a target system or else in our mule flow. Accordingly we have to tune it actually. So we have to reduce the time, so based on this timing actually. So let me try to hit request once again. Now check the payload, how it is look like. Yeah, now meaningful format, guys. I mean readable format, right? Earlier we can see the object, now I can see I can read it actually. So because of that, because of that, the transformer actually, object to string transformer I kept it. Because of that I can able to read it. So click next once again. So here is the thing, guys. Either you can use the F6 is a shortcut, or else you can say the right side next processor and resume, guys. Two things are there. You can use next processor in the sense step by step you can see. Resume in the sense wherever you get that toggle breakpoint, it will jump there directly. Okay, I'll just keep it resume. You can see the output, guys. Whatever you are passing, same thing I'm trying to display it actually. So this is a post request, guys. This is the post request. Same thing I'm trying to display in the logger also. You can see the logger after getting response. I written the as a static content with some symbol. So then after that I'm trying to hold a payload. Is it clear, guys? This is a post request. So extra things what we need to do here, if there's a post request, so we need to convert that payload, guys. Okay, we need to convert the payload. So using any transformer. So now I'm getting a object. So then I'm using object to string transformer. Sometimes we have some byte input stream also will get it actually. Sometimes byte array to string. There's many transformers also there, guys. We can use accordingly based on our requirement. Okay, is it clear? Hope you guys are clear because it's a simple example only. Yes, we can do it. We can do it. But somebody was asking a question actually. You can do it, guys. There is a transformer out there. So you use a transformer, then you can convert it. So now I just take it as a JSON. So then I just display as a JSON actually. There is a transformer I see JSON to XML. See this. I just drag and drop. If you want me to do that, I just drag and drop the JSON to XML. He was asking questions how to can you try with JSON to XML. He was asking. I'm trying to keep this guys here JSON to XML. What happened? This gets stuck. So let me try to check this one. We got MS gas application. Click yes. You can see the format, XML format. Okay. Try to display. Might be it was taking only. Yeah, thanks man. Okay. You can see the only first parameter it was trying to convert it. So it should actually. There is something is wrong here, I guess. Okay, so that is a way to convert it, guys. The procedure is correct only. Next, I am trying to show one more thing here. So the payload actually, yeah. So we'll discuss this part also today. Yes, there is a concept called query parameters and URI parameter actually. So the query parameter is nothing but if you see the URL, not this URL. Yeah, so can you see the URL? HTTP 10.251.53.195. So colon 8081. APA org source IAM question mark trans ID, guys. Question mark transaction ID, and then something like one more is sender, and then client. Three parameters are there actually after question mark. So I will try to show what was the parts in this. This is nothing but a protocol, guys. This is nothing but a host name. So this is nothing but port, and then this is a base path, guys. This is a base path here. After that, this is nothing but a query parameter, guys. So query parameter is like a key value pair actually. So this is the key, this is the value. This is the key, This is a value actually. Okay, so this is nothing but a query parameter actually. So we are trying to check now how to get this query parameter value. Okay, so query parameter is nothing but we have to pass in a query. Okay, this is the key, this is the value. So I'm trying to fetch that. So this value, whatever you are passing in the query parameter, we need to fetch that value. So that we are looking how to fetch it. Okay, so this is the thing actually in the set payload. I just earlier we just getting that payload guys. Now we are trying to fetch that query parameter also. For that getting query parameter, so see the syntax guys. For getting the query parameter, for getting query parameter, I'm using a message object. Message object dot inbound properties of http request dot path. Okay, what is this? Yeah, this is the one we are trying to get it. So path also same guys. Whatever you are trying to hit that request path, that path it will display. HTTP query params we are talking about. So here is the thing guys. Message is the big object in the MuleSoft guys. So like in Java, we have an object is the superclass for all the objects in Java, right? Either it's a built-in or else it's a user-defined. So object is the superclass for all the classes in Java. Similarly, here message is a superclass for all the objects in the Java, all the objects in the MuleSoft guys. I will show you the structure of the message. What are the parts in the message object? Personal message structure. You see the diagram, guys. See this? This is the message object, guys. You can see the message object on the top. There's a message object. So under that message object, observe here. What are the parts are there in the message object? So under message object, there is a header, guys. We can pass the header as an inbound property and the outbound property. Header you can pass it, and under header you can pass inbound property and outbound property. So what is meant by inbound property? What is meant by outbound property? So here is the thing, guys. Whatever the things you are getting, whatever the parameters we are getting from the client, means whoever requesting us, they have to send some parameters. I mean, based on the requirement, they will send as a. So just now we see that if you see here, so in this, where is our request? Earlier request. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. So in this case, we are getting the data in the body, right? If you see the header, so the header is saying about the content type is application slash JSON, right? So similarly here, so we are talking about that actually. In the headers we can fill some authorization, right? So some user ID password you need to send it. Some content type you can send it application slash JSON kind of thing, or else any other token. If it is a OAuth authentication or else any basic authentication, we are expecting some username and password, right? That you can send through header. There is nothing but a header here. Okay, so you can see clearly header here, headers, right? As of now, only one header is there. We can keep on add it actually. In the bottom, we can keep on add multiple headers. So if you want to get the header, right? So receive the header, we need to use inbound property. Inbound property. So where it is that inbound property under message object, message dot inbound property dot that particular parameter, whatever the key you are sending, right? That key if you pass it, will get it actually. So that is nothing but, so inbound property means whatever the information we are getting the from client perspective, so that is nothing but a inbound property. Outbound property is nothing but whatever the information we are pushing to the target system. So we are trying to hit somewhere else, right? After receiving the request, if you see our Mule flow, after receiving the request, I received here using my HTTP listener. After receiving that, I need to push some information to the target system, right? So I'm trying to consume some other third party APIs, like so somebody exposed as a REST API, or else somebody exposed as a SOAP API. I need to consume that. If you want to consume it, might be they are expecting some more parameters, right? Right, like suppose I'm saying, for example, like global weather. Global weather. Some web services are available in the Google. I will try to show that one. Weather web service. Okay, so see here, guys. This guy exposed as a two web services. As in a public, anybody can use it, there is no restriction. Get cities by country. This is a web service he exposed. What he was asking the country name. Boss, if you pass the country name, I will give the list of cities in the country. If you pass the India, you can see the list of countries, sorry, list of cities in the country. Okay, this is nothing but a web service. Suppose if you want to get that cities, right? If you want to get that cities based on the country, I need to call this service. I need to call this service, web service. That is opened by all. Anybody can use it. There is no restriction. Okay, so if you want to get that, what you need to pass it? You need to pass as a country name as a input. Country name as a input. So that's what the thing actually. So if you want to get that value, you need to pass as a outbound parameter, right? So see, thing is sometimes all our inbound properties becomes an outbound property. Once after outbound after endpoint, so we need to keep some endpoint here. We need to hit that URL actually. After touch the endpoint, whatever the inbound properties you are passing, that becomes the outbound properties. That's what I'm trying to say. You guys are clear, right? So here is the thing. Under message object, we have a two types of properties. One is inbound property. So whatever we are receiving the from client, so suppose country name we should receive it, right? Because we need to pass the country name to the that web service, then it will give the cities. So where we are expecting that parameter from the client perspective. So after getting the client parameter from the client, it's becomes a inbound property for us. Once hit the endpoint, that becomes an outbound property for us, right? So that is the thing. So same inbound properties become an outbound property after touching the endpoint. So these are two parts under message, means header is the part. Another one is payload, guys. Payload is also part of the message only. Message is an object. That is the first part is a header. Under that header, you can keep it inbound properties, outbound properties, and then second one is payload. Okay, payload is nothing but a data, guys. Whatever the data, if you see here, there's a body. Just now we are sending data in the body. This is nothing but a payload. This is nothing but a payload. This is nothing but a data. So that is a payload actually. Okay, so another one is variable, guys. That is also part of message object. So whatever we are defining variable, might be we have a different types of variables in the MuleSoft, like total three variables: flow variable, session variable, and record variable. If we define any variable, how we'll fetch it? Based on the message object. Message dot that particular variable. Flowvars dot something is the syntax we have to get. So based on that message object actually. So that is also part under message object actually. And then attachment also, guys. Sometimes we'll expect some attachment from the user perspective. As of now, he is not sending any attachment, right? He's just simply sending some body. Some body he's sending, means nothing but a payload in our flow. So he can able to send some attachment also, right? So that is also part of the message. That is also part of the message. So and then next one is exception payload, guys. Exception payload. If our flow is giving any type of exception, we will see the exception handling in future. So if this flow is giving any error, it will go to the error handling part, guys. I want to find out exact cause, root cause of that error. How we'll get it? So that is also part of the message only. That is also part of the message. Message dot get cause some method is there, get cause something. So using that, so we can display that exactly root cause actually. So whatever the things you are fetching under message object, you can we can get it message dot. There is a syntax will start with message dot. Suppose if I want to get inbound property, message dot, right? So inbound property of that particular inbound property. Else query parameter if you want to get it, so message dot that particular inbound properties of query parameter, because query parameter is a part of the inbound property. So that's why we have to keep it like this. If you want to get attachment, so message dot attachment. Then similarly payload, message dot payload. So payload we can get I mean different ways actually. Directly we can keep it payload, or else message dot payload. Both are same only. Okay. You guys are clear, right, about message object? There is a message object. Object is a big object in the MuleSoft. If you want to get any value, so you have to use message. Okay, coming back to our virtual thing. So here is the thing I'm trying to get one of the query parameter. Observe here how I am getting this. See the syntax, guys. Message dot inbound properties of http query params. I want to get query parameter. I want to get query parameter. So that is a part of inbound properties. That is a part of inbound properties, because so query parameter from where you are getting, from the user perspective, right? From the user we are getting. So that is a part of inbound properties, right? So either it's a query parameters, there is one more parameter called URI parameter. So either one, that is a part of the inbound properties. So how will fetch it? Message dot inbound properties of that parameter we have to pass it. So now in this case, I will fetch all the parameters. How many parameters are there? Inbound parameter, I mean query parameters. All the parameters we will get it actually. Let's see. So that is the thing I'm trying to display that same thing in the logger, guys. And just keep it here object to string. That is not required, I guess. Let me check. I will try to deploy this application once again. Okay, already deployed. So let me try to hit this request test 8087. So can we hit through browser, guys? This one can happily hit this because it's a get get method. HTTP localhost 8087 slash, what was that, test, and then we have to pass the query parameter, guys. Observe here how to pass that query parameter. I'm just passing some user name equal to some Mule. Just passing there. I'll just keep the debugger here. Toggle breakpoint. Get the request. I got the request here. So now check it, guys. I will try to show in the debug mode. Total things we can see in the debug mode clearly. Observe here, guys. Here is the thing. As of now, I'm not receiving any payload, because we are not getting any post content, right? So that's why null payload here. You can see the coming back to the inbound properties, guys. You can see the so many inbound properties, guys, but I'm not sending anything by default. So many inbound properties are there. Okay, you can check in the Mule evaluate expression through Mule evaluate expression also. I will check it. Message dot. You can see the inbound properties simply. Mhm. Message dot inbound properties. You can see the size is 18, guys. 18 inbound properties are we are getting, but I'm not passing 18 inbound properties. I'm passing only one inbound property. So what was that we are passing? We are passing only query parameter. Let me check where is that query parameters. You can see the query parameters, guys. HTTP query param SQL parameter username I'm passing here, and then you can see the list also. Where is that query parameters? Method is get type on which you can see the query parameter here. I'm not getting any URI parameter. Just query parameter is one, guys. Only one I'm getting. So that is nothing but a username equal to Mule. So apart from that, if you see here, size is 18, guys. From where you are getting all these things? By default, Mule will give all these 18 all these inbound properties, guys. You can see all are useful as actually. First one is HTTP dot method, guys. What type of method we are requesting? We are expecting from the client. We are receiving from the client. There is nothing but a get method. And then, so what else? HTTP request URI. You can see that actually. This also sometimes you can use for all these things, guys. What was the URI we are expecting from the client? I mean, we shared this one, right? Slash test. We are expecting a query parameter. So this is the thing actually. This is the thing we can take it. And then localhost. What was the host of this? Localhost 8087. And then relative path. What was the relative path? What was the request path? What was the accept language? Right? What was the remote address? What was the version of HTTP we are hitting? What was the listener path? These are all by default we are getting inbound properties, guys. But as of now, we are expecting this query parameter, right? You can see the size also here, guys. If you see HTTP query params, you can see the size one. Observe here, it's look like a map, guys. It's look like a map, abstract map. So map is nothing but it's a key value pair actually. If you pass the key, then we'll get the value. If you pass the key, we'll get the value. Suppose as of now, I just display HTTP query params. Out of HTTP query params, if you pass one, if you want to get only one value, you have to keep that key also, right? As of now, if you see, I want to fetch message dot inbound properties. Inbound properties. Total 18 inbound properties are there, guys. I'm just keeping square bracket. So let me keep it http dot query dot params, I guess. Okay, see this. As of now, HTTP query params. This is a syntax, guys. Try to observe here. So I just keep it message dot because message is also object under that inbound properties of query parameters. List of query parameters will get it. So how many query parameters we are getting? Only one query parameter. That is nothing but this. You can see clearly in the Mule evaluate expression language, guys. It will give us any syntax errors also. We can check here actually. First we'll check the syntax. If the syntax is correct, then we'll go ahead accordingly, right? So we can check clearly syntax also here. Now I'm getting all the list of query parameters, but I don't want to list of query parameters. I want to get only my whatever I am keeping that query parameter I want to get. That is nothing but username. You can say clearly the value is here. HTTP query params dot username. Then you can simply get the value. Suppose in this particular case, I'm sending only one query parameter. In suppose future we are sending multiple query parameters also. Out of multiple query parameters, how to get only your query parameter? So then we have to keep it like this actually. HTTP query params dot your query parameter value key. If you pass that key, then we'll get the value. You guys are clear. So that is a syntax, guys. Let me fetch in this case. I just keep it set payload, right? So now check this, guys. What was the payload now? We can see the payload as 1. Earlier payload is 0, right? We can see this payload as 1. Okay, so let me try to hit the request now. You can see this in the browser. You can see clearly username equal to it. If you pass multiple query parameters, how will set multiple query parameters? Observe here, guys. Ampersand you have to use it. If it is a single query parameter, we have to pass it as a question mark. After path, guys. Test is nothing but a path here. After path, you have to keep it question mark, then you have to keep it key, then value. If you have multiple query parameters, how will pass it? So then you have to use ampersand symbol, guys. Generally, password should not pass it, but I'm trying to send for testing purpose. Just hit the request. You can see the list of query parameters here. How many query parameters we are getting, guys? Size is 2. You can see the username. You can see the password actually. Okay. So next, click hit here. You can set the two things: username and password. Is it clear, guys? Any questions on this? Venkat team, any questions? Sumant. Okay, great. So that is about thing, guys. Similar manner, we can get all the query parameters. I mean, all the inbound properties actually. You can fetch this path and method. Somebody asking question. Input parameters are mostly passed as a headers. Yes, yes. So you have to send it as a headers. See, that's what here actually. So if it is any user credential like username and password and then content type, so that will come as a header actually. Apart from that, so if you see now, just now we seen that query parameter also it's a part of inbound property only, right? So there is a query parameter and URI parameter. These are also parts of input parameters only, inbound properties only. We can't say only through header actually. You can say in the through URL also we can send it. Okay, any other questions, guys? So that is about today's session. So tomorrow we'll start MEL expression, guys. MEL expression. We'll see the how to write that syntaxes and all. We'll see each and everything actually. So so expressions. We'll see the expressions also tomorrow. We'll try to introduce new components. So that is the thing today. So if you have any questions, we'll discuss, or else we'll wind up the session today. So if I have a JSON array, okay, can I speak it now, Balaji? Can I print all the? Yeah, you can enter. You can do it. You can do it. We have to keep. You are getting a JSON array, right? You are getting a JSON array. You want to print all the values. So take the JSON array as a input, right? So convert it first. Convert it and you can do two ways actually. This one, actually, this anyway we'll discuss in future. So guys, if you have any questions about this particular session, guys, can you please raise the questions related to this session actually. If out of that questions, yes, definitely I will accept end of the session. In the between the session, please don't ask it. So I'm answering this question. Um, if you are getting a JSON array, right? How it is look like JSON array, I will try to show you. Here is the question mark. Sorry, here is the square bracket. Okay. So like this, we have a multiple payloads. We'll get it in the JSON array, right? With comma separated. I just keep it here, comma here, and then we'll keep it one more here. This is the JSON array, guys. This is the JSON array. Okay, you can see this JSON array within square brackets. We'll get a multiple payloads. Okay, so how many ways to do this to convert into norm? I mean to read the data. One is we can use the data wave, guys. There is a data wave we have transform message. So using that, it's a we can take it as a JSON array. You can keep it as a map, guys. Map we can iterate it one by one record. That is one way. So another is we can use that for each. There is a concept called for each here also. Like in the Java for each, how we'll use it. Same way here we have a for each component is there. You can push the content to the for each. For each element, it will retrieve it. There's two ways you can do it. Is that clear, Balaji? Just try to yourself, so you can easily do it this one. Because we not yet discussed the transform and all, so we'll see definitely in future. So any other questions, guys? Uh, okay, thank you.